Hey everyone, this is Ian, artist and game designer of Crimson Keep. I just wanted to give you guys another update video on what we've been doing. I've been working on creating props and filling up rooms full of props for the new area, the Grotto. The Grotto is an underground cave system with water and a lot of plants and plant-themed enemies. There's going to be some druids and like nature-y spellcasters and stuff down here too. What's kind of cool is this water graphic is placeholder, but the water will kind of slow your movement when you're walking through it. And our plan is to have enemies that take advantage of that and use the water. So like a tree enemy that might regenerate itself when it's in water, or other enemies that move faster in water. Where you move slower. We've got all kinds of props, different plants, stalagmites, stalactites, vines. It's coming along. Hopefully get that all finished up by the end of this month. Also got some big tree type assets, like this hollowed out tree trunk. It's pretty cool. So that's what we got on the art side of things. I'm going to restart the game to show you guys the new parry system. So the way the parry works right now is we don't have a separate ability for parry, but there's a flag in any basic attack animation where the parry state turns on and off, and it's at the beginning of your attack. So basically, if you attack when an enemy is about to hit you, you'll block the attack. So I can show it off here. So that blocks the incoming attack. It didn't hit me. And it right now it stuns the enemy for a couple seconds. And one of the cool things about this is that we can change the ease of the parry per weapon, and also change what happens when you land the parry on the enemy. So it could give you a buff, it could debuff them, it could stun them for longer or shorter. There's all kinds of things we can do with that. So that's pretty cool. Another cool thing, well, it's kind of cool, I added a couple more particles to the loot bag drops. So even if they're upside down, they're a little easier to see. I'm going to pick up a couple here, see if I can demo that. So if I drop all these, I can, oh, that's another thing, is you can drop bags now. You can drop items of any kind now, which is pretty important when you have a limited size inventory. What I was going to say is that we have kind of a new animation setup for the first person things. So we've had these floating hands for a while, and before they were just hooked up to a invisible traditional skeletal rig for a first person rig, but now it's just kind of floating hands that we animate, or I animate inside Unity. And it makes it easier to do certain things like special animations for things. I'm a little more familiar with doing it in Unity, and it's easier, since it's a small team, to deal with animation if it's not a full, arm and shoulder and wrist and fingers. So we just got a couple of floating hands instead. But the things that we can do now with this animation setup is things like this, which is a drinking animation. So I can have a unique animation for eating and drinking and using scrolls and all that stuff. And I think it's pretty cool, because that's something you don't see in a lot of first-person games. You just kind of assume or guess what's happening. I don't know if you can hear it, but we also have Ben got footsteps rigged up as triggers and animations now, so we can hear sounds every time the skeleton walks around. I also changed his riposte attack animation, trying to make it a little more obvious what he's doing. I still need to work on giving enemies a little more of a telegraph when they're going to attack, at least the easier enemies. But that's what we've done so far. I was kind of sick for a week and a half or so, so that slowed things down a little bit, but we're still working on it, still doing good. So thanks for watching, and feel free to leave any comments or any suggestions. Thank you.